Alright, so good afternoon everyone. So I am your first reporter for today. So my name is Jellyfi Banday. So today we are going to tackle about lesson design and strategies in teaching writing. So first, let's talk about what is teaching writing. So see, teaching writing is requires a careful planning. So according to Ashcroft 2014-229, he points out that the essential task for a writing teacher, including providing models, setting clear expectation, and offering constructive feedback. So, in designing the writing syllabus, so he we need to consider the following factors. So to designing a writing syllabus, so the teacher must consider these following factors. So first, we have a feasible scope of the writing task. So see, feasible scope of the writing task means designing writing activities that students can realistically complete given their abilities, background knowledge, and learning needs. It requires teachers to consider how much students can handle breadth and how deeply they can work on the topic or the depth. So first, let's proceed the realistically complete. So si teacher sa feasible scope, si teacher dapat mo consider if si learner is makaya ba niya makomplete ang given task. For example, sa given their abilities. If si students if dili niya kaya ang usa ka given task, so unsaon niya pag-submit o pag-accomplish sa ing-ana nga given task. So si teacher dapat mo consider sa needs nga kinahanglan ni students sa iyahang abilities sa iyang skills kung makaya ba ni students. And background knowledge. So for background knowledge dapat si teacher kahibaw sa background knowledge or sa prior knowledge ng students. For example, si learners is kanang nag-struggle bitaw, limited iyahang vocabulary. Halimbawa, si students is kanang beginner level. So, si teacher dapat mo consider kung pang-ingana ba nga level ang needs ni students. If si students po is kanang intermediate level. So, pang-intermediate level kay para sa intermediate level nga students. Beginner for beginner, and intermediate for intermediate, and advanced kumpara sa mga advanced nga learners. For example, if si students is beginner level, so dapat si teacher mo consider siya sa needs ni beginner student. For example is more on describe your favorite food. That is the first or the basic question for the beginner level. And for intermediate level, si students, si teacher mo hatag ra og writing task nga kaya ra ni intermediate level. For example is kanang short paragraph essay. So sa intermediate level kay makaya ra niya ma-accomplish na niya. Kaya ra na sa iyang skills, sa iyang ability kay pang intermediate naman siya sa pang iyahang nga level. So makaya ra niya. And for advanced level, si teacher is muhatag og pang advanced nga writing task. For example is kanang fully paragraph essay based kana nga advanced nga writing task. Makaya ra na niya kay pang advanced man siya, so para ra na sa iyang level. So si teacher mo consider sa learning needs ni students kung asa siya nga dapit nga dapat kung asa siya dapit nga makaya ra ni students ma-accomplish through background and their skills sa ilahang abilities. So next is learning needs. So si teacher mo consider siya sa learning needs ni students. Kung unsa ba kinahanglan ni students. For example, kay si students is nag-struggle og si students is a beginner level. Tapos ang nahatag ni teacher is pang advanced. So si teacher dapat mo consider siya sa needs, sa prior needs ni students, kay pang advanced level niya, pang beginner siya. So unsaon niya pag accomplish if wala siya mismo nakasabot, kung di kaya sa iyahang abilities, sa iyahang background knowledge. So dili ra unrealistic ra siya. So sa kaunsa ka how much students can handle breadth sa kalaluman, kay for example ang world history broad man na siya kaayo, even for advanced level broad ra kaayo ang world history, kay daghan kaayo siya, daghan kaayo siya. And for how much deeply they can work on the topic, or the topic mismo, specific depth. Depth is more on detail, specific kaayo sila. For example is for English structure, si teacher kay dapat specific, detailed siya from pronunciation to grammar to structure to vocabulary. So dapat detailed ra siya. So si teacher need to see or to know feasible scope na kinahanglan ni students para ma-achieve ang learning needs na ilahang kinahanglan. So second is the a writing task that promotes academic integrity. So in this writing task, si teacher kay karon no, kay uso naman ang technology, ang AI. So moigo ra si students mo copy and paste. But to avoid plagiarism, so si teacher dapat mo set og rules sa usa ka classroom before the student make the given task, nga dapat dili mo rely si students mo o maging dependent si students through AI. Pwede sila makuha gamay sa AI, but i-paraphrase nila into their own ideas para maging independent sila sa ilahang own ideas. Dili sila pero may magsalig sa AI, kay unsay ma-learn nila if magsalig ra sila sa AI. Kung pangutan-on sila, mo search pa sila AI para makatubag. So to promote academic integrity, si teacher dapat mo avoid og plagiarism, set og rules for students, kay students naman ka benefits ana. So ang next is the suitable scaffold for the given task. So a scaffold for a writing task means providing the right amount of support before, during, and after. So writing students can successfully complete the assignment. So for able to students to successfully complete the assignment, so according to Will Fong 2015-13, he emphasizes that teachers should never simply give a writing task without preparing students for it. Instead, writing should be a guided, supported, and interactive process. So si teacher, dili lang siya basta-basta muhatag og given task if si students wa pa na-expose sa kanang interactive kanang wa pa na-expose si teacher si students sa kanang communication bitaw through activity. So dapat si teacher i-support niya si students before the given task. For example, si teacher kay dapat time to time is mo check if si students ba nag-follow sa instruction nga iyang gihatag or nakasabot ba siya sa iyang explanation. And during, which is the supported, nga dapat mas need ni student during that lesson or writing task. So during that, si teacher dapat dili lang mo stay in front, but mutuyok siya, duulo niya ang students to check time to time if si students ba o si learners kay na nakasabot ra ba, kaya ra ba sa iyang skills, or naabay wala na sabtan si students. So dapat si teacher i-check niya time to time si students. And after that, kay si teacher dapat mangutana ba if si teacher kay if si learner naara ba nakatunan or unsa ilahang na-develop na skills through communication, through interactive, or through kanang action, writing skills. Ana. So si teacher dapat support gyud niya, dapat mahatag niya ang needs nga kinahanglan ni student. So next is a specified topic, genre, and purpose. So in this specified topic, genre, and purpose, si teacher before mo hatag sa given task, dapat mag-be specific siya, mo explain siya ba nga dapat ingani ang buhaton ni students through instruction. For example, ang gihatag niyang topic sa iyang students is make a story. So, in make a story kay naaman ng mga plot, setting, character. So dapat si teacher muhatag og specific topic. For example, is a mother's love. So, naa na students kung unsay ang pilion nga genre kay naaman tay tragedy, adventure, horror. Through tragedy, if si students nga the way iyahang mama pag hatag o pag show og love is through working abroad, OFW. Ang iyang mga na-experience dito is mga brutal o nag-sacrifice siya dito para mahatagan og better life sa iyahang child sa nga naa-diri sa Pilipinas. And for adventure, if a mother's love, the way they show their love for their child through adventuring, traveling. And for a horror, halimbawa early nga ni saka og heaven iyahang mama through kanang horror bitaw, kanang mga magparamdam paramdam through visited or mga spirit bitaw nga permira mo visit sa ilang home kay to kanang para bantayan ang iyahang child. Mao na ang specific genre. And ang purpose nga nung si students gisuwat niya na unsa iyang purpose nga nung gisuwat niya ang story nga ana and nga nung ingana nga genre. Kay for example, tragedy. Maybe to be proud nga iyang mama nga iyang mama is nagsakripisyo sa laing nasod, wala niya gi kanang ikinahiya bitaw, wala niya gi kinahiya. So that way kahibaw si students or mas organize ang ilahang ideas through specific topic, the genre, and the purpose. So next is a reasonable set of deadlines. So a reasonable set of deadlines, so every given task nga muhatag si teacher dapat naagyud na specific deadlines. And i-consider po ni teacher if si students is makaya ba na ing anak nga time, kung daghan ba sila time para ma-accomplish ang given task. But si students, dapat si teacher i-discipline po niya yung students nga dapat mo submit through time, through the specific deadlines. Okay. Through disciplining students to submit a set of deadlines kay diha makatuon si students nga kuan ra mo submit through time kay dili permilate kay just like irresponsible na if permilate ang so si teacher dapat mo discipline niya before sa early stages pa lang nga dapat si students mo submit through in time as a reasonable set of deadlines. Mao na siya. And a reasonable set of deadline in writing instruction. So sa writing instruction pa isi teacher dapat mo consider nga unsay pwedeng mahitabo sa ing anak nga adlaw through nga giprocess pa ni student ang writing task. So si teacher mo hatag og instruction niya. Baway si teacher naghatag og given task on second quarter. So muhatag siya reasonable time. Baway mo i-submit ni students ang given task before the end of the fourth quarter. So si students mo follow sa instruction ni teacher. Kaya natagaan naman sila enough time to process the given task. Like for another example is kanang research base. Ang research base is daghan yun na siya process. Issue, environment, respondent, kung unsay mga needs na kinahanglan ni students. So dapat i-consider ni teacher kung unsay pwedeng mahitabo, kung unsa nga time consuming nga makuha ni students to process before nga mahatag para dili pud ma-overwhelm si student ba, maka-prepare og maayo og dili low quality da. If si teacher dapat expected po ni teacher nga if naghatag siya reasonable time for the students nga mataas-taas og time bago makapas, expected yun ni teacher nga nindot og quality ang ilahang writing task. So a reasonable set of deadlines in writing instruction, dapat si students mo follow gyud sa instruction nga gihatag ni teacher, dili magbuot-buot nga pwede miss, pwede mo hangyo maybe, but dili permihon kay magsalig naman kuan na. So there is another part on planning or implementing on a writing syllabus writing task. There's a SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So dapat si teacher be specific siya kung unsay goal nga learning needs na kinahanglan ni students nga ma-achieve niya. And measurable, si teacher dapat ma-measure niya ang scope nga kinahanglan, kung unsay mga need nga materials, kung unsay need ni scaffold nga support nga mahatag niya kay students. And attainable, if si teacher ba muhatag ba siya ing ani nga given task is makaya ba sa abilities ni students. And relevant, dapat if si teacher muhatag og given task, dapat relevant ra pud sa tanan, sa background knowledge, sa iyahang lesson, hangtod sa assignment, hangtod sa activities, hangtod sa iyang pa-project. Kay basin niya naghatag si teacher og kanang more on writing siya niya, ang hatag niya is mga role playing. Usaon ni students pag adjust if wala sila naka-study ing ana nga course ng mga role play, mga action. Kaya more on writing man ilang gifokusan. So lisod. And time bound. So dapat si teacher ma-consider siya kung unsay time sa pag-prepare, sa pag-discuss, sa unsay mga dapat possible mahitabo during pag-discuss niya, pagtudlo niya sa mga students, o unsay dapat na set deadlines nga dapat need niya ma-achieve nga ing ana for first quarter. So dapat si teacher time bound siya, kaya bound na siya nga unsay mga ipang-adjust para ma-achieve ang goal nga para sa students. So next is designing the lessons for writing. So we have letter A. So engaging activities in writing instruction. Writing skills is a skill that develops through consistent, meaningful, and correct practice. Beginners benefit most when learning involves multiple senses, not just sitting at a desk with pencil and paper. Engaging activities make writing interactive, motivating, and connected to learners' real experiences. When we say engaging activities, this is for students nga dili lang perme mo lingkod sa ilahang seat to just write, but of course involve into kanang interaction kay through communication with other students or with their classmate, kay maka-add og motivation kanang mas kuan bitaw si learners kanang ma-motivate siya, interactive, ug ma-develop pud ang ilahang communication skills. So through engaging activities, si teacher must kanang i-group niya si learners, si students to interact, not only just for example they write about what they learned in a specific story. So after they wrote what they learned, so of course they interact or talk about their ideas, to share their ideas to the other students, to know nga para mahibaw-an pud ba kung sa ilahang idea about that nga story. So that is for engaging activities in writing instruction. So Next is developmental instruction in writing. So, when teaching writing to beginners, it may be tempting to use the product approach because it is easier to assess and time efficient. In this approach, students focus primarily on producing a final piece of writing that the teacher can check for correctness. However, research and expert recommendations emphasize the process approach even at early stages of writing instruction. So, in this passage, gi-emphasize nga at early stages si beginner kay gi-discipline or gi-practice na daan kanang gi-practice nagmaayo in early stages as much as possible kay para kanang ma-develop ang ilahang ilahang writing skills, ang ilahang madiscipline kung saon nila pagsunod sa mga instructions. So that is developmental instruction in writing. So during of practice, during lesson nga pagsuwat sa mga writing task, si students kay ma-develop pod ang ilahang creativity, ilahang critical thinking o ilahang writing skills kung unsaon nila pag-organize sa mga ideas. So that is for development section in writing. So next is conducive environment for writing. So a conducive writing environment is one where learners feel motivated, supported, and confident to express their ideas. Experts emphasize that requiring learners to write without proper context or guidance is counterproductive and may hinder the development as writers. So we will say conducive environment for writing kay dire in this passage emphasize nga for enable for students to write without proper context or guidance in counterproductive and may hinder sa ilahang development. So si teacher dapat mo provide og good environment ba kanang if kanang interest bitaw sa students kanang ma-capture ilahang interest, and of course kanang mukaan si teacher if ang environment ba is dili saba kanang dili ra maka isturbo sa ilahang lessons. So teacher must consider the environment for the students. Kaya ang sa ka classroom is full of kanang mga advanced level. So dapat si teacher for beginners kay dapat i-consider ni teacher nga beginners for beginners and advanced for advanced. So si teacher kanang ilain-lain bitaw niya kanang ikuan niya si advanced dili niya isago si beginner sa advanced kay out of place man si beginner kay so naapektuhan na ang environment ni beginner. So for advanced po kay si for sa ilaha kay si beginner is kanang slow ra kaayo, so dili much ang environment. So si teacher must consider the environment for the development of the students. So that is a conducive environment for writing. So that's it for all for me. Thank you so much for listening.
For continuation, we have our teaching writing mechanics, which is tracing letters, words, and sentences. So, naana jud tani since kinder. Gi-teach na jud sa atong teacher on how to first improve our tracing letters. So it helps us develop our fine motor skills, which is tracing improves hand-eye coordination and strengthens small muscle in the hand. So it helps us develop our fine motors well nag-trace ta it will develop our eyes, which is ma-focus jud ta na ma-write jud nato siya or ma-line jud nato siya ang letters. So it reinforces letters recognition by repeatedly tracing letters. Children reinforce their ability to recognize and form letters correctly. So while gibuhat na to every day or we're doing it every day repeatedly, writing or tracing the letters, ma-recognize na nato siya na, this is B, this is A. So, ma-recognize nato siya. By that, our teacher move us into words. Instead of letters, it moves us into words. So, introduce sentence structure. Tracing and writing sentence expose student to basic sentence structure and how words combine. So, as we repeatedly trace the letters or words, we expose into it, and sometimes we recognize the letters or the words. So, and then we know how to form or combine the meaningful phrases or sentence. It also helps us build confidence. Successfully completing traces exercise can build child's confidence to ability to write and learn. So, as a student, as inagihan na nato as kinder, so it really helps us build our confidence. So, why? Because when kindergarten ta, when our teacher say us, good, good job, great. So, it really help us that na mas mo-learn pa jud ta ug mas maayo. So, it also prepare for independent writing. Tracing is foundation step that prepares students for more independent writing tasks by developing the necessary skills. So, as a student, the teacher is preparing us, and tracing letters or words is the step for us to learn more than just tracing words and sentence. It's also help us combine and recognize the words and the sentence.
Now we are going to move to the writing instructions for intermediate and advanced learners. So this means teaching writing to students who are no longer beginners. Intermediate learners already know basic grammar and can write short paragraphs. Advanced learners can express ideas more fluently and can write essays or academic texts. Pause a pause. Pause a pause. For these levels, writing instruction focuses on improving accuracy and clarity, expanding vocabulary, organizing ideas better, writing longer and more complex texts, using appropriate tone and style depending on the purpose, academic or creative or professional. Moving on to scaffold in teaching writing. Scaffolding means giving support to students step by step so they can complete a writing task successfully. You start with guidance, then slowly remove support as they become more confident and independent. Examples of scaffolding: giving models or samples, providing outlines, giving sentence starters, breaking a big writing task into smaller. Teaching writing mechanics. Writing mechanics are the technical rules of writing. This includes punctuations, like periods, commas, question marks, etc. Capitalization. Next is the spelling, next is correct formatting, and next is grammar basics. Teaching writing mechanics helps students write more clearly. And teaching planning in writing. This is teaching students how to plan before they write. Good writing starts with a good plan. Planning involves brainstorming ideas, deciding the purpose of writing, choosing the main message or thesis, organizing ideas into an outline. Identifying the introduction, body, and conclusion. Thinking of supporting details. This helps students write more logically and stay focused on the topic. So that is all. Thank you.
Pre-writing activities, which is help learner generate ideas. So, ang pre-writing activities mo help siya sa student or sa learner na maka-generate of new ideas na without worrying about the grammar, the spelling, or the punctuation. This also include the free writing, questioning, clustering, and listing. So we have here questioning. So questioning is similar to brainstorming and is one of the easiest way to generate ideas for writing because it is like talking to oneself or finding answer to your question. For instance, you can ask them to write about the reason for their taking up their course using the 5 Ws and each as their guide in planning their essay. So, questioning is like brainstorming. So, diba, kita in ourselves, when we question to ourselves or asking ourselves, we are the person who will answer it, not anyone. So the 5 Ws will help us or guide us to answer our own question, like we're having a conversation with ourselves, to come up or to build up a new ideas to help us in our essay. So like why did why did we take this course? So using the 5 Ws in each. So like why did I choose this course? Did I choose this myself or did someone influence me to take this up? What benefits do I get from taking up this course? What career opportunities does this course offer? So by asking yourself, you gain new ideas or generate new ideas flow in your mind. So it will help you with your clustering. So when we say clustering, this means collecting or grouping together ideas related to our chosen topic. We guide our student in putting this chosen topic at the center and then drawing a circle or box for every related idea and connecting these ideas with a line. So when we say clustering, this clustering we choose our own topic and then if we already have a chosen topic, we think of something that connected to that topic we chosen. So it's like clustering is like creating a mind map to organize your ideas, your thought. So let me give you an example so you'll understand. If your topic is social networking, what comes into your mind that's connected to social networking? So what comes into our mind is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, emails, YouTube, and others. So when we then organize our thought or our ideas that connect to that social networking site, we draw a line connecting to each of this. So we know that this social networking site connected to the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and email. So they are the connected ideas. So now you have your visual map of your social networking site. So let's move forward and making a list. So making a list is a technique can help learners in choosing the topic and narrowing the focus by simply listing all relevant ideas without worrying about the order of importance. So in listing, we can all write whatever comes into our mind. Just write it up and you don't have to worry what's come first, what's the next, or what's the last. So in listing or making a list is a straightforward way to brainstorm ideas for writing. It helps you choose a topic and narrow your focus by jotting down everything that comes to mind. So ang list, making a list is like magsuwat ka anything, i-write nimo anything. O wala pa kakahibaw or you don't know what's going to be your topic or the title of your topic. Write all comes into your mind. Then if you're done listing or writing, now you can decide which is the better title or topic that you want to choose. So we have our other planning strategies. So first, RAF. The RAF model by Halston and Santa. So lastly, we have WW plus 2 plus 2 half. So This planning strategy, offered by Graham and Harris in 2007, it is useful for writing short stories. So, this strategy is a simple way to plan a short story by answering key questions about the characters, settings, and plot. So, using WW plus 2 what plus 2 how, you can plan your short story on how to make it. So, how? How? So, first is who. Who is the main characters? Who else in the story? When? When does the story take place? So where? Where did the story take place? What? What does the main character want to do? What to do other characters want to do? Other what is what problem does the main characters face? What happened as a result? How? How does the main character solve the problem? And other how does the story end? So, by answering these questions, you create a basic outline for your story. So, including the main elements like characters, settings, conflict, and resolution. So, by the help of WW plus 2 what plus 2 how, we can create our own outline, basic outline for creating a short story. So, we can make a whole short story by answering the WW plus 2 what plus 2 how.
So this is in continuation with our topic, lesson design and strategies in teaching writing, under the category of designing the lessons for writing under scaffolds in teaching writing. So I'm gonna present the um, different planning strategies that was started by Kator, the previous reporter. So Kator was able to discuss the other two teaching strategies, including the raft and the WWW plus what plus how uh, um, planning strategies. So I will now go ahead and proceed with crew. So what is crew? So crew is the abbreviation of first letter C. It's for a claim. Um, R for reason. E for evidence, and W for warrant. So that is crew. So C for claim, ara mo siya makita ang standpoint sa author or sa student. So ang claim ara nimo ma makita and mabasa kung unsay gibarugan sa or unsay gituohan sa author. So we have R for reason. Makita nimo dira nganong mutuo or into that claim ang author. So lahi ang reason sa evidence. So ang evidence, we already tackled C for claim, R for reason, and now E for evidence. E is mo na siya ang nag-support sa reason. So yes, lahi siya ang reason ug ang evidence ha. So evidence, it could be like any data that can support the reason sa claim. And lastly is the warrant. Warrant is mo na siya ang nag-connect sa tanan-tanan. Tanan reason, tanan nga evidence balik sa claim sa author. So that is the crew. Next is stop and dare. Okay, so after sa crew, we have stop and dare. So stop and dare planning strategy is for persuasive and argumentative writing. So stop is an abbreviation, S for suspend judgment. So you have to refrain yourself from making prior judgment, and be widen your horizon pod in regards, or open your minds in regards with the idea that's being presented. So you have to refrain from making judgment before you even tackle the topic. So next is T. So T stands for take aside. So after the topic was presented, you've already refrained yourself from making a judgment prior. So now you have to take aside. So you have to pick asa kang side nga mo dapig, since this is persuasive and argumentative writing. This could be applicable during debates. So take aside, asa ka mo dapig given the minimal information about the topic. So next is organize ideas. So after you take a site, you have to evaluate and organize your idea before you make or present any text or any approaches. So next, we do have P for plan more. So this means nga mag-think ka ahead sa imong isulat or istorya before nimo siya i-present. 'Di ba sa katong organized idea is iba pa man siyang gi-organize, like imo pa siyang gisunod kung unsa ang imong isulti, unsa ang imong first isuwat or i-resulti or i-present. So ari na sa kuan sa present or plan more, kay mao na siya ang way of unsaon nimo siya pag-deliver ahead sa presentation. So we also have there, it means D for develop a topic. Okay, so kini siya is imo nang i-expand ang topic. So imo nang i-expand ang idea nga mas masabtan pa siya sa reader or sa other learners. So next is add supporting ideas. So this means na aside sa 'di ba develop mo kag topic, you also have to strengthen your point. You have to strengthen your point by presenting like reasons, details, or solutions sa katong nga topic na imong nahimo. And R, it's for reject arguments from the other side. So it's not like mangaway ka in a way. It's just acknowledging, you have to acknowledge the opinion given by the other side or other people, but you don't have to accept, or you have to stand with your opinion. Okay, in debate actually guys is kuan. In debate, regardless if sakto ang imong gibarugan or not, you have to really defend your idea or defend your thought regardless of your belief. So that is what's debate all about. And C is for, E is for end with conclusion. So ending conclusion is imo nang ihatag diri ang imong takeaway, or unsa ang imong pang wrap up about sa imong topic. Imo siyang i-summarize base, or i-summarize nimo siya kay para mas dali siya mabitbit sa readers or sa mga naminaw nimo about sa imong gibarugan nga topic. So for stop, that builds your mindset and the structure. And now the other one is the dare. It builds your argument and your voice. Okay, now let's proceed with the 5-paragraph essay. So the 5-paragraph essay, this strategy is useful in teaching genre writing or writing for learning. So, ang idea aning 5 paragraph essay is that the first paragraph, of course, it is the introduction. Ara nimo ihatag ang ang like gamay nga idea about sa i-tackle kung unsay i-expect sa listeners or sa readers about sa imong topic. So, and the second, third, and fourth paragraphs, ara na nimo siya i-elaborate ang imong introduction. Ara na ka um, maghatag ka og mga opinion, samples, reasonings para sa body. Mahulog na siya og body. So the first paragraph is the introduction. The second, third, and fourth is the body. So ma-insert nimo dira sa body ang imong topic. Of course, mas imong i-elaborate or imong i-expound ang imong topic with the help of the reasonings, your topic itself, and what's more to know about the topic. And last, the fifth paragraph is the conclusion. So, ara nimo siya i-summarize kung unsay gitakol nimo sa body and unsay imong maikastorya about sa body. And summary siya. Okay. Okay, next to the 5 paragraph essay is the Cinquain. So Cinquain, it's a 5-line structured poem. By definition, it shows here, didactic cinquain forms variation has become a creative strategy for writing poems. So this is effective kay using minimal words like diba 5 stanza raman siya. Given that 5 stanza, you can already identify what's the topic called about. So it's a short poem, 5-line poem. Effective siya again because it forces you to capture the core idea quickly using the 5 lines. So I've prepared here the definition and samples. So we have here, there are 2 variations for the cinquain. So in variation 1, I will show the sample later. So the variation 1, the first line is one word, which is the title of the poem. So title sa babaw, and next line or first line sa poem should be the title gapon. The second line contains 2 words which are adjectives that describe the title. So adjective, describing words, of course. So any describing words na imong makasulti about the title itself. The third line has 3 words, usually gerunds, that tell the reader more about the subject of the poem or instruction or show action. So from adjective sa second line, third line is the gerunds. Duha man to ang adjective. This time is 3 gerunds na siya, or anything that shows action. Fourth line has 4 individual words or a 4-word phrase that show emotion about the subject of the poem. So as you can see, it's like first niya is the title. Second is 2 adjective. So first line 1, second line 2, third line is 3 gerunds, and fourth is this one, individual words or phrases that shows emotion towards the topic or towards the title. And the fifth line is one word, synonym or very similar word to the title. So the sequence is like this: one word sa first line, 2 sa second line, 3 sa third line, 4 sa fourth line, and balik to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So again, the first line is the title itself. The second is two adjectives that describes the title. The third is three gerunds or action word that is connected to the title or the topic or the idea. And the fourth is four um, words that shows emotion towards the topic or the idea. And the fifth, balik ta sa one word na synonym sa title or synonym sa naa sa first line. So I prepared here is sample. It's titled Castle by William Swink. I'm gonna read it. Castle, strong, beautiful, imposing, protecting, watching, symbolizes wealth and power, fortress. So as you can see, so first line is mo na siya ang title. Title is castle, one word. The second line is two adjectives, strong and beautiful. Third line is three gerunds, imposing, protecting, sorry, imposing, protecting, watching. And the fourth, it's symbolizes or it shows emotion, symbolizes wealth and power. And the last one is synonym to castle, which is fortress, one word. Okay. And next is we have the second variation. Okay, second variation, one word title of the poem, two adjectives that describe the first word, three other modifiers of the first word, all ending in ing, a complete sentence with four or more words, and the last one is one word. Okay, so I have here an example as well. So, acrobats, flexible, amusing, flipping, twirling, jumping. You can see the ing there. They make me laugh, performers. Okay. Okay. The last planning strategy is list poems. So this creative writing activity asks learners to list down an inventory of persons, places, objects, or ideas. So this one is an effective also nga planning strategy because from unscattered or tigdi nga idea or kanang tigdi or kanang ideas nga putol-putol lang in their head, they can be able to list that down, and from that small pieces of idea they can be able to form or organize or structure a poem through that. So murag through listing their ideas maka-visualize sila nga this could make a better or a poem from that scratch or draft. Okay, so we are done with the other planning strategies. So let's proceed with the fourth designing letters for writing, which is writing prompt. So by definition, along with other strategies, the teachers can also motivate the learners to write by giving clear writing prompts. A prompt is anything that moves the student to write. So any encouragement or motivation that can be able or that can trigger the students' eagerness to write something. It could be a poem, an essay, or any like structured or written nga ideas or thoughts that they can be able to put out. And there are also like two types of writing prompts. We have the finite and the infinite. So the finite, it requires a direct or straightforward response, finite prompts are less daunting for the students because the goal and expectations are clear. So finite is naa siya'y sakto nga instruction or clear instruction rather. So limited ra pod ang idea nga mahatag sa student when it comes to finite. So example, you can ask a student to write a reflection like 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 sentences reflection about a topic. And so given the knowledge of 3 to 5 or 2 to 3 sentences, that's already limited or yeah, finite na siya. So need sa finite ang direct answer or straightforward nga answer from the students. So that's the finite. And next we have the infinite. Okay, the infinite prompts can be confusing to some students but would be useful for everyday or non-graded activities. So this is confusing for some because this is a free murag ma-express din mo imong self. The good side is you can express yourself like freely, no limitations at all. There's no limitation when it comes to sentences, paragraphs, or any topic na you can think of. But with the infinite, ang downside ani is some student dili kay baw where to start, especially kay walay instruction about the topic or any idea about it. So some students struggle to where to start or how to organize their ideas when it comes to finite prompts. So that's it for our topic, guys. So I would like to add a conclusion about our topic. So lesson design and strategies in teaching writing is only effective when guided by clear structure, intentional strategies, and meaningful engagement. And great lessons create confident thinkers and not just better writers. So thank you so much and have a great day.